gentlemen, the evidence is here. This is yours truly, Mazel Knows. I was on the float for the Queen Elizabeth. This was in the 1980s. I was presently working at the time to Fisheries Department, and each ministry had a float that they presented, and they try to choose only certain people out of the department, and I was chosen for my department. And it was a crew of us. It was a good much of us from my department. A big float. They combined the fisheries and the agriculture float was one float, and they had about 8 of us, if it's that much, on the float parade. And child, I looked the queen straight in her eyes. And I was smiling the biggest smile. And when she looked at me, I bowed to her, curtsy to her with my sexy hand out, like how you see that? Girl, I did not know shame in my game. And I see it look like she chuckled a little. But guess what? It worked, because let me tell you why. Out of everyone who was on that float parade, I got a hand-delivered invitation via the Governor General's office for me to go to tea with the Queen at Buckingham Palace. I was so foolish and so young and didn't know no better. I gone with the invitation, because they made sure I put it in my hand. I gone with the invitation to my boss at the time. I wouldn't call his name, the mean bugger. I wouldn't call his name. And I said, look at this. It was hand delivered to me, and it has a seal on it. And I say, it's for an invitation for the Queen to tea at Buckingham Palace. How am I going to get to Buckingham Palace? You can help me get to Buckingham Palace. I was foolish. But you didn't have nobody to guide you and stuff. When you're young, you think so weird when you look back at it. Because I was like, how I can get to Buckingham Palace? How I can get to tea with the Queen? Oh, I would love to go to tea with the Queen. I was like, he couldn't believe it. He looked at the invitation and he saw that it was genuine. I was the only person on the agriculture fisheries float parade that got an invite to tea with the Queen. So me smiling at her and curtsying to her, and I saw her had a little chuckle. She knew she wanted me to be her friend, child, and I was willing to go. He ain't had no money though. And the invitation would have been my evidence and show y'all, just like how this picture here is my evidence. But you know what happened? Because nobody in that office or ever had any invitation to the Queen before, the gentleman who was my boss, he tell me, say he can look into it for me. And I going back a week later, get my invitation. I never get it no more. That man hold on that invitation, refused to give it to me. Ladies and gentlemen, there are people in your life that have become roadblockers. They hate that you are given opportunities that they themselves never had. And they will stop at nothing to stop you from going. Even if someone wanted to sponsor me that trip just to go, because it's a once-in-a-lifetime invitation, I wouldn't have been able to go because he kept the invitation. Okay? Look here. You can always meet somebody like that. That's why, like Joseph, you can't tell people your dream, but that wasn't a dream. That was reality. They hating on you because they never had the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. But this is the evidence of when I was on the float parade. See all the stuff on the float parade? All the coconuts and palm trees and everything. This was in the heart of downtown. Yes, this is yours truly. Like I said, I don't sit on the sideline. And that's why I don't like people trying to tag onto me too much too, because I always want to go. And some people can't go where I go. I got to keep them far from some of the people I know because their attitude ain't right. And people don't have time for that. You know? I'm a people person. I can't deal with people who ain't got time for the right attitude when you go in certain places. One thing I know how to act when I go places, ladies and gentlemen. And when you know how to act when you go places, yes, people will always look for you to do this or to do that because you will bring it. And you always look the part. you will bring it. See, looking the part is one part. It's the attitude and the actions is the main part. Hello, somebody. So this is Mizelle Knowles when I was on the float parade. When Queen Elizabeth visited here, that was in I believe around 1982, round thereabouts, 82, 83. That's when that was. Hello, somebody. And that's the evidence. That's the evidence. See the float parade? That's the evidence. That's why I'm telling my story. Hello, somebody.